Right.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 25th installment of Bullsitting on TSWS Gaming. This week we have Tencent and Sony acquiring FromSoftware, wink, and Quantic Dream being acquired by NetEase, lots of acquisitions, and God of War bringing some fresh new gameplay, changing the game all over again in 2018 or not. Before we start, we have our special guest, Mr. at Jermaine. Am I getting this right? Is it at Jermaine RPG? Is that right? Hello, Jermaine?
Yeah, that is
Can you
correct.
hear us?
Yeah. Sorry, I was on the mute.
All right. Jermaine, so we have a little tradition here with our special guests. What we do is we ask for you to tell us your gaming story, your journey that has led you up until here. And then at the end of story time, we want you to tell us what is the best current console right now. No sitting on the fence, pick one. Defend your position, okay? And then tell us what's the greatest video game of all time. And then also defend your position. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So now order. So my gaming started on a Sega Master System in the UK about 30 years ago. So that was console that I owned. Before that, I used to play a bit of my father's NX Spectrum. The Master System really got me into gaming when I was younger, to be honest, to the point that I actually skipped a generation. I never went to the Mega Drive or Genesis and the Super Nintendo and whatnot. The next console I got after that was a PlayStation 1. So with the PlayStation 1, which was kind of like where I was in my teens then, so a lot more kind of getting into my gaming, and I used to play a lot of platformers and stuff, and then I discovered Final Fantasy 7. I played that, and I was hooked on JRPGs, and I started kind of leaning towards that genre more and more. And I did other genres, and I did still play other games, but I was leaning more towards that. And as you probably know, there's a long time to complete them kind of games, so you kind of get less of them in. So on that kind of level, then I went to Sony from there on out. Really, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and now PlayStation 5. So to answer kind of your next question, you can guess that my favorite console is not going to be Xbox. It is the PlayStation. All Nintendo. No, it is PlayStation, and whether that's just through habit because I've always stuck with PlayStation and I haven't gone elsewhere, possibly. But it's always just had it's always had enough in it to keep me coming back. I've never sat there and thought, I need to try get an Xbox or a Nintendo because I'm bored of PlayStation games now and there's not enough for me. So, so for me personally, I will say that, I am PlayStation. I'll always buy the next one, and like I said, got the PlayStation 5 now.
Jermaine said, and I quote, "I am PlayStation."
Yeah,
wow.
I heard. That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
That's deep, man. That's deep.
That was what I heard. I heard that on thick.
Okay, keep going.
All right.
So that's where I am in a minute with the PlayStation. And in terms of my favorite game, it'd be no surprise to know that it's Final Fantasy 7. And I'm sure a lot of people kind of roll their eyes at that.
Best video game of all time.
For me personally,
that's why you're here, brother. It's for your opinion.
It's how you define the best video game of all time. it's not always necessarily. Are there better JRPGs than Final Fantasy VII? Of course there is. But for me, it kind of changed my whole attitude towards not just the genre, but gaming in general. So it kind of really got me hooked in a way that no other kind of game has. So for it to have that effect on me, I have to say it's the best game of all time. Even if in terms of, are there better JRPGs? Yes. Are there better games out there? Yes. Have I played better games? Overall gameplay, story, visuals, and all that. Yes, I have. But that's been games that have been afterwards, if you know what I mean. So you can only judge it by that kind of certain point in time. So that's for me why it's definitely the best. And I have kind of questioned maybe Final Fantasy X, but no, it's always Final Fantasy VII. I can't go away from that, and I'll die on that sword if I have to.
Oh, that was a lot, Tim. The first time we've had a guest just go straight into picking one console, and that is it forever. Wow, I admire your commitment to PlayStation. That is special. All right. Okay, so before we jump in, Ham, what have you been playing this past week?
A lot of Death Stranding, and you know that. Asking me that shit question. You already know what I'm playing.
I am squeezing this dub right until the last drop. Jermaine and anyone in the chat, if you didn't know, I'm the one who turned Han Solo into giving Death Stranding a proper go, and the man is loving it. He resisted, he fought it, but
I did because
the quality is winning out.
Because unlike Loke, I play with friends. I play video games with friends. So when I'm in a party chat, and stuff like that, and I'm playing a game like that,
impossible to play Death Stranding.
It was literally just terrible. But as soon as I'm still playing it in a party chat, but I'm playing it in a party chat with somebody else that's playing Death Stranding as well. So there'll be 20-minute stretches where neither one of us say anything to each other. And then when we're both
letting it soak in.
Yeah, so it's a lot easier to feel the cutscenes and understand what's going on and kind of dare I say, immerse yourself in the experience that's being, given. So I enjoy it. I definitely enjoy it. The story is pretty thick. The BTs are freaking annoying, but they're fun to kill, for sure.
They're playing their role. Okay. Jermaine, what have you been playing this past week?
What have I been playing this past week? Not much. Just got back after I just got back from holiday last Friday, so I've actually decided to go back and play a few games from PlayStation 2 that I haven't played. So in a minute, I'm playing Shadow Hearts, which on the PlayStation 2, which I started when I had a PlayStation 2. I got rid of the game. I didn't really get that far in it, and then I kind of forgot about it. But I've decided to go back to it, and I'm having a lot of fun with that in a minute. And I'm also doing some stuff. I take part in a Master System challenge every week, which is one of the guys on YouTube, 8-Bit Boy, does that, and I take part in that every week. So I've been playing a bit of Master System as well, as I generally do, but mainly Shadow Hearts at the minute.
Wow, that is retro. What was that, 2001, 2?
2001, 2001, 2002, yeah.
Oof. That was a minute ago, man.
I wish it was.
Yeah, man. The good thing is that games, they don't rot. They're good forever. All right. I've been grinding Yakuza 5, but Ham Solo's enthusiasm for Death Stranding has made me move up my plan to play the director's cut. So I will be playing the director's cut starting next week, definitely. And I will join your party, Ham. Just don't make noise for me, please. I need the game to, take over my
Ain't
soul.
nobody bothering you.
Stankmo, what have you been playing? Please tell us. Stankmo in the chat said Death Stranding story was fire, but I had to drop it when you got to those dudes in yellow need to finish. Yes. Power through, dude. Everyone who finished Elden Ring has no excuse not to finish freaking Death Stranding. All right, lower the difficulty if you have to. All right, let's get into it. The first subject. All right, fine. In the spaces we were talking about the CMA, not blocking but delaying the acquisition of or delaying the approval of the acquisition of Activision Blizzard by Microsoft. Ham, do you want to say something, or do you want to say one piece, and then we move on to Jermaine, and then we close the subject at least for this week?
About
or are you
this,
done talking about this?
I'm
The
pretty
CMA
done
thing.
talking about it. Man,
You're done,
it's,
right?
yeah, it's like talking about an episode of Law and Order. I'm done.
Yo, Law and Order is the longest running series in the world. Just don't insult the greats. Jermaine, do you still want to say something about the whole CMA thing, or are you good?
No, I think I said my piece on the spaces.
All right, we have
good.
beaten this donkey dead. All right, so we'll start with Sony. We will we'll start with Sony and Tencent acquiring FromSoft. Obviously, this is a fake lead because they did it. All right, and I quote: "This one comes from GameRant. Kadokawa Corporation announces that Tencent and Sony have both acquired larger stakes in FromSoftware, combining for over 30%. The announcement was made early on Wednesday by FromSoftware's parent company, Kadokawa Corporation, revealing the newly bought shares of the developer. Following the issuance of the new stock shares, Tencent will hold 16.25% of FromSoftware, while Sony will sit slightly lower at a measly 14.09%.
My goodness.
Jermaine.
Sony just getting hit.
Yeah.
And settle down. Stop making fun of him. Jermaine, are you excited for the future? And do you think this will lead to Bloodborne 2?
No, and possibly not. It's like buying a Happy Meal, isn't it? And you just have the toy. That's it. But I don't know. I don't really know what they're going to do with it. I just think it's one of these things that I think that they're just doing just to kind of make a bit of chatter on Twitter and things like that. I don't think it would lead to anything substantial. Might just get some games released earlier on PlayStation and things like that, but I don't think it will have a massive impact. I think it's a bit of a non-story, really, to be fair. Like, if you'd come out and say, "Oh, Sony have bought them outright," we'd have a different conversation, maybe. But
facts. That it's a fact.
Yeah, that's it.
But a valid point that you did bring up unconsciously is that this will just lead to more exclusive content from software on PlayStation, because that's how PlayStation rolls, right? They go to third-party developers and then they just take all the extras for themselves, or they make the game outright exclusive. # Final Fantasy VII Remake. Ham, is this a big deal that Sony now owns 14.09% of FromSoftware?
Is it a big deal? Maybe for like Sony. To me, no, not really. I mean, I just think that, it kind of goes back to what Jermaine kind of just said. Or better yet, what you just said. Like, it may just mean they come out with more games or more exclusive content for the PlayStation side compared to others like Xbox and or Nintendo, if they ever have anything to do with anything, which they probably won't. But yeah, I mean, this just gives them more leg room to play around and have something to do with games incoming in the future.
All right. Okay, so let's move on to the next acquisition. We have here the Detroit Become Human and Heavy Rain developer Quantic Dream being acquired by NetEase. Oz actually hinted to that on the space before the stream. This one comes to us from IGN South Africa.
Oh, look at you smiling.
For anyone that doesn't know, I do have one or two articles on IGN Africa. Them's my buddies. I try not to just put IGN Africa articles or link IGN Africa articles because I don't want to sound biased, but this one was a nice piece. French developer, publisher Quantic Dream has been acquired by Chinese company NetEase. The new owners say that Quantic Dream will continue to operate independently, focusing on creating and publishing its video games on all platforms. Quantic Dream will become NetEase's first European studio, but it's been making strides into AAA development recently after making its name and fortune with mobile games. Jermaine, are you excited for this acquisition?
No, not really. It's what I will say is it always reminds me of, in football, when the manager's doing a bit crap and they say, we have all the faith in the manager, and then he's sacked 2 weeks later. Same thing, isn't it? We're going to let him operate independently and do their own thing. And 2 months later, they'll take all the little bits that they want, and then the rest will be down the toilet. So, is there anything that I could particularly say that, another, what we're going to get, a Heavy Rain remaster probably, because that seems to be the trend, just remaster games and stuff. But
remake as well.
Yeah, remake maybe, but it's not going to set the world on fire, is it? Unless some people be excited about it.
You didn't play Detroit Become Human or Heavy Rain?
No, I didn't play. I played Heavy Rain. I played the hell out of Heavy Rain, and I loved Heavy Rain. It's kind of like I have a bit of history with like point and click adventure games from back in the days and things like that. So it's a kind of similar kind of concept.
What turned you off Detroit Become Human, considering you're a big PlayStation fan? I'm curious.
Time. It turns me off. Turns me off a lot of games. It's do I want to play it that much that I'm gonna not play my massive backlog of games and bring it? A game's kind of really gotta stand out and wow me in order for me to just sample a game now. Because as you get older, as you know,
Shadow Hearts on PlayStation 2 wows you more than Detroit Become Human.
Yeah.
Christ above.
Because unfinished business as well. It's unfinished business. You've got to remember, like I said, they played it for a bit years ago and I never beat it, so now I've got to go back. And this is what I'm saying, my backlog is so much. The game's really got to kind of grab me to go, actually, I'm going to put everything else on hold and try that.
Wow.
I stand behind that.
Okay, so before we go to Ham, Stankmore says he's playing God of War, not 2018, 2005, the first one. So lots of retro PlayStation games here. He's also playing Digimon. He does. And he's playing Digimon Survive. And he's also playing Madden 23. I admire people that can juggle 2-3 games at the same time. Just wow. Props to all of you guys. For me, one at a time, maybe 2. But 3, 4, 5, no. I can't do that. I can't do what Ham does. Ham plays on 5 different screens at the same time. Anyways, Ham, Detroit Become Human developer acquired by NetEase. What are your thoughts on this one?
I mean, the acquisition, I guess it is just kind of what it is. I'm not that affected by it because I didn't play that many of their games, to be honest. But like, will they be stripped of all this stuff? Like Jermaine says, like, and just throw the rest in the trash. I don't know. I don't think that will happen as quick as we may think, but it's an interesting thing to put on the table. I really don't know on this one. I really don't know.
You know why I
what to
think it's a solid premise? You know, I think it's a solid premise
Why is
because
that?
NetEase made all their money on mobile games. So what is probably going to happen is, or what probably interested them in Quantic Dream is the storytelling team behind it. So there's a very good chance that those guys are just going to get contracted to do mobile game stories. We might not see like a AAA game close to Detroit or Heavy Rain from Quantic Dream. So that's why I think it's actually possible that what Jermaine's saying makes sense. You know,
Sure.
mobile developer acquires studio that makes AAA story games. What are the odds that the mobile developer is going to be like, oh, you guys keep doing what you're doing? What are the odds that they're going to just take that and be like, okay, now let's take what you guys do and then add it to what we focus on.
I see what you're laying down.
Yeah,
I mean,
the same way.
to be able to keep, I mean, maybe they might use them like PlayStation's talking about using Bungie, where
I'd be
you can
shocked.
make. I mean, yeah, I mean, sure, but
Dude,
I mean
there's a
that
reason why
is
people are
money.
memeing.
That is money left on the table, though, possibly.
It's not that much money considering how much they make on mobile.
That's fair.
Detroit Become Human. A lot of people capped for it on social media. This is what another thing that pisses me off about the social media people. Like 1 minute, everyone is talking about Detroit Become Human, such a life-changing game, and then what was that Xbox game? Was it Road 96 or Road 69 or whatever? That
Yeah,
was
Road 96.
essentially it was essentially Detroit Become Human in terms of format. Oh no, those are not real games. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? It's the same type. It's the same like genre or whatever. So for me, I can see it getting stripped, and then just the story guys being taken to the mobile side. All right, let's move on to some hotter news. God of War Ragnarok combat a big revealed. So before I get into this one, Jermaine, I am assuming that you have pre-ordered this game and that you saw the gameplay, correct?
You've got 50% of it correct. Yes. So I have seen a gameplay.
Okay.
And I will be buying it. I haven't pre-ordered it. I will be.
Why haven't you pre-ordered it?
Huh? I haven't.
Do
Only
you
pre-order
pre-order
games.
games?
Like,
For me?
huh?
No, I was asking Jermaine if he pre-orders games.
Oh, okay. That would be interesting.
Very rarely do I pre-order games. So maybe once every couple of years. It's usually if it's going to be like a really big JRPG that I'm looking to get, I'll pre-order it. But other than that, I'll just buy it. Because what I'll do is I'll wait.
Behind that.
Yeah, I'll just wait. I'm not going to go out there day one and buy the game for 60, 70 quid. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait, and then once it goes down in price or it's on sale, then I'll go and get it, and then I'll have my fun with it. My 10, 11 hours of fun, and I feel much better having well, I'll just say what it is. Having my fun for 30 quid than I do for 70 quid. Just for me. But then there's games that I'll go out and I'll pay full price day one. The next game in the Trails series that's coming out, I'll go and buy that. And there'll be people out there that'll go, I wouldn't even buy that for 20 quid. You know what I mean? So it's all about a matter of taste.
Yeah, Loke, did you pre-order? Oh, Loke, I think you're muted. But did you pre-order NBA 2K23? You're muted, bro.
I was so shocked with my opinion of God of War.
I guess so. Yeah, I knocked it. He said it's very rare that when I pre-order a game and God of War just ain't on the list of pre-order, and that's funny. Oh man, here we go, Loke. That preparation's kicking in.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
He's back. About time. That preparation's kicking.
Bite me. Bite me. Stackmore says that's light. I do the same thing with books. I usually have like four books. Jesus. Okay, how many TV shows do you watch at the same time? Wow. Okay. So we're talking about pre-orders. You don't pre-order unless it's JRPG, correct? It sounds like you're big into JRPGs.
Yeah, 99% of the time. There could be exceptions, but it'd be very rare. Very rare.
Okay, Ham, did you watch the gameplay on the combat and abilities?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Something to look forward to. I mean,
so
that's kind of my life.
DLC? Did that look like DLC to you?
Why you go there? Why did you go there?
Jermaine,
I mean, it's
the question, Jermaine. Did that feel like DLC?
Yeah.
Did you just ask me to pre-order DLC? Is that what you said?
No, I'm saying. Oh man, okay. This guy gets it.
Yeah, you're bigging it out 1 minute, and then you're telling me it's the. I can't choose whether I want to pre-order it now or not.
Oh man. Did it look like DLC though? Because I'm sure you played the first one. Did you play the 2018 one?
I did play it for a bit, yeah.
All right. So did it look like DLC to you?
Oh, really? No. Games don't look like DLC now.
Thank you.
When you bring a second game out in anything, unless it's completely different, it's
or on another console cycle, another completely different console cycle.
Yeah. You mentioned Madden. I mean, I don't play American football. I don't really know much about it, but similar with FIFA.
Careful with Madden. Ham is very sensitive about Madden.
I'm gonna use FIFA as a kind of comparative
go with FIFA
over in England. Madden, FIFA, NBA, anything like that. Isn't it just DLC?
Essentially.
How much difference in class is there from the last 10 FIFA games?
Nothing.
Warrants £70 every year. How much difference is there? Just paying for DLC.
FIFA, I think, really changes where you can compare one to the other every 6 or 7 years.
Maybe, yeah. I'd say
everything in between is the same. So it doesn't look like DLC. It looks like a sequel to an awesome game.
Yeah, I mean, it's very much as much. To me, it's as much as DLC as you could say Halo is DLC. Then, in that case,
exactly. I mean,
because it's a new piece of the story with a new few elements to the game, but the core of the game is the same. So
good. And that comment of DLC, I think is fair, because if you take someone that's not really into whatever game we're talking about, and then you take the previous one and the sequel, it's the same game. For someone that's not super into it, they can't tell the difference.
Isn't that what most games? On the flip side of that, there's the kind of old saying is, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. So do you need it? God of War, such a good game. You need to radically change stuff and risk alienating the people that enjoyed the first game just because you want to make something completely different. No, so that's what 90% of sequels to games are about. it's keeping the same elements which you liked and just advancing on the story.
Welcome to Big. Welcome. Jermaine, to your point about pre-ordering God of War. Yes, I did. Because if God of War Ragnarok is essentially God of War 2018 gameplay wise, and then there's story beats that are different, that's enough for me. Because God of War 2018 was super tight. Combat, I enjoyed the lack of traversal options, because it was almost like a philosophical take on aging. Because if you look at God of War 1, 2, and 3, he's like he's Kratos, jumping all over the place, but he's a young man, or a young god or demigod, whatever you want to call him. So even his progression from the previous God of War to this one, it makes sense that he does jump, but he doesn't jump around all the time. You can't just press A and then he's halfway to the sky. It makes sense because he's aging, and as you age, you're also more judicious with your energy. So for me, it's perfectly set up. And also for the fact that this whole idea of it looks like DLC, dude, go to the old God of Wars, just like Stankmo is playing God of War 2005. Go to the original God of War 2, God of War 3. Take screenshots of all three games. You could say that they're all the same game. If you randomly just play them, you could say they're the same. So,
and that's because that was because the concept, the game itself is so good. Why are you if you're gonna release a sequel, you're doing it because people want to want more of the same. That's why why else do you release sequels? People want more of the same, and they just want a different story. If you want to change things radically, make a different game, make a different IP.
Welcome, Mr. Joanna Dark. Well, welcome to the chat. All right, so let me read the piece on the combat abilities for God of War Ragnarok. New combat abilities for Kratos and Atreus were revealed, including a new element system tied to weapons and new defense options with shields.
Let's talk about
details regarding the. Sorry?
You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it. Let's go. I'm excited to hear about this. Is what I'm saying.
All right. In new details regarding the combat in the sequel, God of War Ragnarok will feature the return of two major weapons from the previous game, the Leviathan Axe and the Blades of Chaos. Okay, before I carry on, we've all played the game. Jermaine, between the Leviathan Axe and the Blades of Chaos, which one felt best? Which one did you enjoy more in combat? Yeah,
Chaos probably.
What?
Chaos. Oh, sorry. What did you,
Mr. Retro?
Is that what you wanted me to say? I don't know.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Ham, which one did you prefer?
I preferred the Blades of Chaos, but I really liked being able to toss that axe like a football, though, and make it kill from across the room. I thought that was pretty dope. But just that feeling with the Blades of Chaos when you're just swinging them all over the place, it just you are literally whooping their ass.
Okay. In the chat, welcome, Metlex Games. Metlex Games says Blades of Chaos. Mr. Janet Dark, Blades. Wow, the Blades are winning hands down. All right. Well, I prefer the Leviathan Axe.
You are boring.
I don't even care.
Are you making a house with that thing?
Russell Westbrook done built a whole neighborhood down here. Anyways, let me go back to the article. In new details regarding the combat in the sequel, God of War Ragnarok will feature the return of the two major weapons, the Leviathan Axe and Blades of Chaos, but their functions have been expanded, and new shields will allow players to choose what they need at any circumstance in battle. There will be a new elemental system tied to the Leviathan Axe and the Blades of Chaos. Players will be able to infuse ice with the axe and fire with the blades. This doesn't... Okay. There will be two different shields. Okay, before we go to the shields, this description doesn't really cover much of the actual change, because if you guys remember, you already were infusing ice with the axe and fire in the blades, correct? In 2018.
Yeah. I mean, you had to use the ice with the axe to stop the things from like turning and stuff like that.
And you could freeze enemies and whatever, and you could toast enemies to a crisp with the Blades of Chaos. That was already in the previous game. Sorry, Mr. Janet Duck says the Leviathan Axe was cool, but the Blades of Chaos win. Okay, so did you guys see anything different in the video before I give my take on the elemental system that's been put into the game? Jermaine, you go first.
Well,
you're muted.
Yeah, I think he's muted.
I am. Yeah, I'm the mute now.
Aye.
Oh, man. Yeah. I was just saying. There's not like a massive amount. I think it's just enough to make it feel a bit fresh. Which, again, like I said, if it's not broke, don't try to fix it. With the element side of things, I think it would be nice if they... I don't know how deep it is. If you could infuse different elements into different weapons, so you could put the ice with the Blades of Chaos and maybe other elements in there. No, you don't like that idea, no? Is that my JRPG kind of background talking there?
That would be super cool. You could turn into Sub-Zero or Scorpion for the rest of the game. But the thing is, there's certain enemies that are only weak to ice and others that are super weak to fire. And if you try and force the fire on an ice enemy, it'll take forever to chip them down, and then you could end up like dying from a weak enemy. So that's how they kind of forced you to change between the Chains of Chaos and the axe in 2018. Before we go to Ham, Mr. Joanna is furiously typing. I like them adding RPG elements to the weapons. Kratos got hops and can jump. Once in a while, he's like Michael Jordan when he went to the Wizards. He can do it. He's not going to do it all the time. Ham, from the videos, what big changes did you see on the elemental side?
Oh, well, I was going to say, Mr. Joanne Dark kind of just said it. He jumped. He jumped. The homie got
up. Pretty big deal.
And we always knew we had it in him. Jump. We always knew we had it in him, but we've never been able to jump ourselves. So that's pretty cool. They have like some sort of like hop attacks or something like that, or quick attacks. I'm wondering if that's like a button on its own, or the jump is part of the combination. Yeah, thank you. So that's really interesting to see, and just to see him do that kind of gives me kind of the feeling that he's going to be a little bit more loose in this game compared to just a brick house just walking around like a freaking boss all the time. Yeah, I mean he's still going to be, boss hog, but he's going to be able to have some agility with it. Mm-hmm. Maybe I don't have to roll all the dang time with my shield, stuff like that. I was wondering, and somebody in the chat can maybe answer me, or maybe you guys can, but was that shield, when he took the shield and smacked the ground and it like went elemental, is that new?
Yes, that is new.
Okay, so so
that was the shield could only do like frontal attacks, and the pound combo that you unlock later on in the game just like stun the enemies. It wouldn't actually affect like with elementals on the ground.
Yeah, because what I seen him do with that shield was like pretty much like catch people on fire with it, and I think that's what they meant when they said like infusing like the blades with other things. I'm not sure if that came out right or if you read that right or whatnot, but like I think you'll be able to balance out or use other things with the elements other than just the blades being fire and the axe just being cold.
That is pretty much what's written here. Players will be able to infuse ice with the axe and fire with the blades. That is pretty much it. But now, with the from what I noticed, not just the shield that you pound on the ground and then there's elemental damage, but I noticed that the area of effect is much larger than it was in the previous game. So now I'm curious about the stages. Is it the stages? Yeah, like the arenas where you find yourself fighting the enemies. Because with 2018, it looked more like what do they call it, Metroidvania or whatever. And there's lots of like not tight corners, but there aren't many just open spaces. And in the IGN video, essentially that's what was shown. It was lots of like arena style fights.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Where you're kind of hopping around a lot more and you move immensely more than you did in like the previous ones where it's like you were kind of just like inching yourself through somewhere and then you tell Atreus, go, go boy. Yeah. And he'd like go in this little space and then just barely open you into some other space or something like that, or open a door or something.
They kind of doomified it a bit, and I don't know. It looked interesting. I'm not sure how it'll play, but it looked very interesting. That for me, that's what really popped up. It added.
Do you think it's going to topple? Do you think it's now? I'm going to ask you a question, host. Do you think it's gonna? Do you think it's going to topple 2018 in score?
What was the score for 2018?
Wasn't it like a 94?
Let me see. God of War 2018 Metacritic.
I thought it was a 94.
Christ, 94.
So nailed it. Let's go.
I mean, because that's for Elden Ring.
That was 97.
Elden Ring.
97. Oh shit! Right?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yes. It will topple. It will topple. It will topple the score for thingy. It will topple the score for 2018. For 2018.
Do you think it's going to topple Elden Ring now?
No.
Okay.
I don't think there's any game. I don't think there's any game that's going to topple Elden Ring. It's too much momentum. Jermaine, what do you think? Do you think this one will beat Elden Ring in terms of Metacritic score, not Game of the Year?
Probably not. No. I think it's one of it depends how big the hype train is as well. I always find with these games.
Gigantic.
I think the more that you hype a game up, for some reason, it seems the more disappointed people are when they get the game. I don't know if that historically I've always found that the more that a game gets hyped and hyped and hyped, it comes out. It's not bad.
Pressure. It's game. Pressure, man.
But people, they set their expectations so high. When it doesn't meet them expectations, then they want to crap on it all day. And it's not as good as I thought it was going to be. It's not as good as the last one, even if it's better, because it hasn't met the expectations. So no, I don't think it'll be 94. I think maybe 90, 92, 90 maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on it just for the fact of it being a sequel, but like in the terms of hype, I mean, Elden Ring was like most anticipated game of the year, like 2 years in a row. So that game had hype. It had plenty of hype around it. And then it came out.
That's an outlier, though.
It's rare, but it was.
It's not the average. If we're
talking hype, average right? At all, bro. And
Yeah, yeah,
that's why I personally don't think it's gonna topple Elden Ring. It might. I see it tying the score of God of War 2018. I see it sitting at a 94 again.
Yeah. It'll be close. 94, 95, maybe 92.
But yeah,
But
not Elden Ring though. I think, dude, people are still talking about Elden Ring to this day. I hear to this day people saying I just got into Elden Ring. People are still going out and buying that game at full price.
I just beat Margit. But let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I think it won't beat Elden Ring. Elden Ring did something that it did the same thing that God of War 2018 did. Elden Ring was like a breath of fresh air. You know, there's it's very rare for a game to come out and then just wow people. This one didn't just wow people, it wowed people and it brought them into a completely new genre. It did something that all the other Souls-like games didn't do. So it's not an exaggeration to say it changed the gaming landscape. God of War 2018 did the exact same thing. No one was expecting the majesty that was God of War 2018. So even if this one is as good as the previous one, they're not really breaking any mold. So it's like, yeah, it's awesome, but it's not special. And that's why I don't think it's going to beat the Metacritic score. It might deserve to be the same Metacritic score as Elden Ring, but because they're not completely reinventing a wheel, they're not going to get all those kudos and applause and all that stuff. Let's go to the chat for a bit. Mr. Joanna Dark says, white ashy gods can jump. Yes, they can. Reference to a very nice movie. Matt Likes Game says Elden Ring is rare. Games don't often live up to the hype, let alone exceed it the way that game did. Yes, that is exactly it. Okay, carrying on. There will be two different shields. One focused on quick parries and movement called the Dauntless Shield, with the other focused on slower paced defensive combat called the Stonewall Shield. I'll be using that.
I like doing parries and stuff like that in games like that.
Yeah. Jermaine, which one of these shields sounds most appealing to you and why?
What was the first one called?
The Dauntless Shield is focused on quick parries and movement, and the Stonewall Shield is focused on slower paced defensive combat.
Probably the Dauntless Shield. I think when you play an action game, it's you want quick action, parries, things like that. I suppose it depends on your style, and hence the reason with the Blades of Chaos, it kind of matches up with that kind of gameplay. Whereas, with the other more defensive, heavier weapons, that's how other people sometimes they prefer to play it that way. So I think it just depends on your style, and wanting a more kind of quicker action, I think the Dauntless Shield is probably my choice.
All right, in the chat, tell us which shield you guys prefer. Okay, lastly, the developers...
that right there gives it good replayability, though, to come back and try it out with the other shield and just love that one.
Yeah, and see we can go. Man, those Valkyries. Did you guys beat the Valkyries in 2018? Did you beat all of them?
I did not.
Jermaine?
I beat the game and just called it good from there. I was happy with it after that.
I tried for like 2 straight days. I was like, you know what? The first time I beat the game, I only beat 1. But this time I was like, nah, I'm gonna power through. I beat 4 total. How many did you beat, man?
I didn't go for any of the after game stuff.
I think you can do it during the campaign.
Oh, during the campaign?
Harder.
Shoot, I couldn't even tell you.
Harder. Oh, okay.
I honestly
Jermaine?
couldn't even tell you.
No, I didn't beat any. I didn't even finish the campaign. There you go.
Oh, Mr.
I just like your face,
PlayStation, what's happening over here? What's
Bro,
really going on?
they don't play their games. They don't play their games. I'm telling you, man. They don't play their games.
Oh,
That's why
man.
Madden, Call of Duty, and FIFA are dominating every year. They don't play their own games.
They got Is that why PlayStation wants Call of Duty, just so they could just have it, just sit on it?
No, Jermaine, defend yourself. Defend yourself. What?
I suppose
You just said it's a 10-hour game. You just said it's a 10-hour game.
Hey, look, this shit looking grim right now.
No,
dog.
I said I played it for 10 hours. And I said it's a 10-hour game. I said it's a 10-hour game. I mean, I played it for 10 hours. That's why I got out of the game.
Wow. Was it boring?
I can't remember. It's not boring. It's probably just a better offer came along. So I can't remember what it was, but I'm pretty sure I was playing it.
A better offer came along. Oh, shit. I want to know what the better offer was. Was it Call of Duty?
We need to know.
It was FIFA. No, it wasn't.
It was FIFA, to be honest.
I've never played Call of Duty, and I only buy FIFA for 50 pence. So it was probably a JRPG of some sort that I probably skipped on. If I remember, I'll come back to
it. My god.
Ouch.
Damn.
I didn't expect that. I respect him for being honest, though, and not just dragging us along for a ride. I mean, that's better than BSing.
Stackmore in the chat says, Lamau exposed. Jermaine, you've been exposed.
I'm just checking my Twitter follow account, see if it's gone down any.
Oh my goodness. Nah. We don't play like that.
What up, Blind Giant?
Giant, welcome, man. Good morning. Okay, so that's God of War done. Oh, sorry. Lastly, the developers also confirmed that there will be more shields than just those two. So there must be much more. Yeah, there's going to be more interesting.
It sounds like this game's going to expand because 2018 was really nice, but like as for gear, for me personally, it felt kind of lackluster. I don't know, the blades were the blades of chaos were dope. The axe was dope as well, but like I wanted it to like get wild, and it never really felt like it was that wild. My favorite weapon in the game ended up being my fist, like straight up,
just because of the stun, ability.
Yeah, absolutely. It was by far my favorite part. So I want some like of that class, because when you went into that crazy mode, it gave you like that classic running around just. Yeah, it just gave you that classic run around, just destroying everything feeling. And I want the more of that sense, even if you have to increase the amount of people that are in the area. And from what I could see in that short little bit of gameplay was that it seems like there's gonna be a little bit more going on around you.
I don't wanna take a crap on your parade, but if after you played the campaign, you kept on playing, you could have leveled up your Spartan mode to where it lasts close to a minute. A minute doesn't sound like long, but it's a long time when you're just dispatching.
You're telling me that I have to continue after beating the entire story to realize that I can get. Of course, you can always get more with a character if you continue after a story. But if you're telling me that I could have something really dope, I would have rather had that during the actual game. I don't want to I don't want to reach for that after I done took out the main story boss or whatnot. I don't care.
I'm gonna let you in on a secret that Jermaine is already chuckling about. If you tackle all the side missions, you can actually level up all of that before the final fight.
Sure, you can. You can do that in a lot of different games too. But I mean, like, if
Same
you're
thing for God of
holding,
War.
if you're holding back something that like is super duper dope, and you're just and you got people like you telling me, oh well, you know, if you would have just kept playing after you beat the story, you would have noticed, you could have
Or play the side missions.
I'm just like, okay,
Or play the side missions.
But might I add that your Lord and Savior Kojima in Death Stranding,
Here we go.
gives you so much stuff through the story missions that you feel the way that you're telling me I should have felt after doing a bunch of other side stuff in God of War. I mean, to me,
listen.
To me, I mean, we're not gonna let that slide right here, bro. Like, come on, man.
Dude,
like if you're gonna involve something like that, put it through the story.
Let's not compare the best developer on the planet, Kojima Productions, to one of the good developers, Sony Santa Monica.
Oh wow! So you're just gonna slap God of War like that? You're gonna say Santa Monica just I'm not
even slapping God of War. I'm slapping everyone.
Oh my God.
Kojima Productions is the best developer on the planet. I said it. I'm not slapping God of War. I'm slapping everyone.
You know, you're slapping Santa Monica in the face.
There's no developer that has had consecutive hits like Kojima Productions. There, I said it. I freaking said it. Let's go to the chat. Matt Likes Game says Death Stranding is the greatest. He said Matt Likes Game says Death Stranding is the greatest game ever made. Metal Gear Solid 4 is the greatest game ever made. But okay, I'll let that one slide. Okay. Jermaine is just watching, like, what the fuck? What is going on? These two are going at it.
I was thinking Metal Gear Solid 3 is better than Metal Gear Solid 4, but
dude, if you say any one of the Kojima games is the greatest game of all time, I mean, you're in the ballpark. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Matt likes games in the chat right now. I'm here right now. I'm hearing what he has to say right now because
I'm not going to read that. I'm not reading that. You have to read that, Ham. I'm not reading that.
Okay. He says way better than any, or he didn't say any. He says way better than Metal Gear Solid series.
Yeah, whatever.
Death Stranding.
Whatever.
Hey,
Matt does not like games.
Why can't you support that statement?
See, Stackmore's got logic on his side. Stackmore says Matt likes games. Whoa, relax there, sir. Seriously, Matt likes games. I don't know what you're drinking, but have some water, okay? Just
while you're over here disrespecting God of War, saying, "Oh, you know, it just ain't made by the right dev." You know,
no,
like the dev ain't the best. The dev ain't built like Kojima. The devs ain't built like Kojima Productions.
Dude, there's levels to this. You
need to relax.
LeBron is great. Okay, LeBron is great. Just
when's the last time a Kojima game outscored God of War?
Wait, you're trying to tell me that scores is what makes games?
Because no. We were using
that's what you believe.
Scores. We were using scores earlier. Why not use scores now? Oh man, what happened, Lou?
Let me tell you what happened. Kojima is beyond Metacritic scores. Okay, he's above all of that. Kojima, listen to this. Listen. Let me educate you. Kojima creates ethereal experiences.
Oh my god. Man,
yes,
man, you
and he
need to calm
makes you say, "Oh my god!"
down.
Makes you say, "Oh my god," like you just said. Okay, Kojima changes people's lives by pressing these here buttons. Okay, there are people whose children are being influenced by Kojima right now. He doesn't just make stuff for you to enjoy for 20, 30 hours and you're done. All right, there's levels. Mr. Inferno Game says, "I'm preaching the gospel right now." Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Inferno Games. Welcome.
Oh my god.
Welcome. So, when we talk about Kojima, don't bring me Metacritic scores, don't bring me sales. That dude is beyond all of this.
Well, I'm just saying that because you got done slapping God of War.
Yes, God of War.
Disrespecting it.
It's great. God of War is great. But there's levels to this. Oh, God. Who's this Rel? Rel says Death Stranding is trash juice. He created a soccer mom game. Oh, someone block Rel, please. Mr. Inferno Games, Cozy is having technical issues, so we will see her next week. Stackball obviously doesn't understand what the hell's going on with Rel, because Rel is crazy. Okay. So, that's God of War done.
Yeah, of
Let's
course you
move on
shit
to the
on it
next
and
one.
leave. You shit on it and leave. That's what happened.
Dude, I'm not shitting on it. Dude, you know what? This Jermaine, this
Why
for
you
me
running for
is
hell?
exactly no. Ham. This is exactly what pisses me off about the debate with like LeBron and Jordan. Oh, just because something is way better than something else. Hold on, let me finish. Just because one thing is way better than something else doesn't mean that something else is not great. Let's accept that God of War is one of the best games of 2018. It was fantastic. God of War is a footnote compared to what has been made by Kojima. It's not even worth comparing, like putting them side to side. It's not fair on God of War or any other game.
This man.
So let's be reasonable. Okay?
I feel like you're not being reasonable.
I'm being very reasonable. I'm being very reasonable. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, sure.
Assassin's Creed Mirage game reveal announced. Following some leaks, Ubisoft officially this one comes to us from Game Rant, and I quote: "Following some leaks, Ubisoft officially announces Assassin's Creed Mirage and confirms when it will get its full reveal. The full Assassin's Creed Mirage reveal is going to take place at the next Ubisoft Forward event scheduled for September 10th at 12 p.m. Pacific time. At minimum, this means Assassin's Creed fans can expect a proper trailer for Assassin's Creed Mirage, though it's possible a release date will be revealed too, especially since one of the pre-order bonuses have already leaked online." Okay, so before we go, Stackmore says, "Talk that talk, Loke. I've been doing it." Rel is losing his or her mind or their mind in the chat. Mr. Inferno, what the hell, man?
Yeah,
right,
in your face, Lo. In your face. Read it.
Jermaine, did you see the leaks for Assassin's Creed Mirage?
No.
Jermaine.
I did not see it. I didn't see the leaks. I'm gonna come straight out with it now. I'm not interested in the leaks. I've never played Assassin's Creed, and I tried to get into it the first time, and it's just not.
You never played even on the like the PS3 era.
I have it because my son wants to play it, but yeah,
original Assassin's Creed you didn't play.
Prince of Persia, I played that, but not the original Assassin's Creed. No, I played it for a bit, and I didn't get into it enough to carry on, and so I didn't kind of follow the series of we are now like the 7th game, whatever it is. So I don't know enough about it to form an opinion. I haven't seen the trailer either. No.
Wow, you really are unique, dude. Like, finding people that haven't played. No, seriously, props, man. Finding people that haven't played Assassin's Creed, that is rare. Good, well done. You are truly special. Ham, Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Yeah, so from what I thought I heard, they're going back kind of to the old style of Assassin's Creed, which I am hyped for, because I got exhausted playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I thought it was a great game, but I just got tired of having to level up to fight somebody that's right next to me. Like they just they ride and they just ride by you like you're nobody. And it's like, this is a person that you should conquer at some point, but you can't fight them. They're right next to you. And I just that always bothered me about the newer Assassin's Creeds, where in the old one, where you had to be very stealth, you had to kind of move around just like a person would in a regular town, right? But once you struck somebody, they died or they got severely hurt, no matter who it was. And if you got caught, it started the mission over, kind of like in Ghost of Tsushima did. If you got caught doing something you weren't supposed to be doing, sometimes the mission would just be done. You failed. So I'm excited for that. I also see that it has like it's going to Iraq, if that's right.
That's what the rumor says. So
I mean, I'm definitely interested in this. I know K Mega, I'm not sure if he's that interested in it because he wasn't a big fan of the early Assassin's Creed, or at least the first one. So I'm interested to see how this plays out and what the reality is behind this, because as of right now, it's just a leak.
Yeah. Well, it's not just a leak, because Ubisoft actually got ahead of. Excuse me. Ubisoft got ahead of the whole thing, announcing that the leak was that there's a new Assassin's Creed game called Mirage. Ubisoft confirmed that the Assassin's Creed Mirage exists and that there's going to be a full reveal September 10th, 12 p.m. Pacific time. So it was a leak, and Ubisoft confirmed that it's not just a leak, it's the real thing. They're not doing what other companies do, just pretend like there's no leak and then make their own announcement. They acknowledged it and they set the date for the full reveal. Okay, so Jermaine, not feeling it. Hamothy, excited if it goes back to its roots. I'm also very excited because I enjoyed Assassin's Creed, the first one with Altair, Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed 3, and Assassin's Creed Revelations were the best Assassin's Creed games to date, in my opinion. As soon as they when they added all the other ones like Black Flag and all this other stuff, I was just like, I'm so done with Assassin's Creed. There's too many Assassin's Creed games. And then when they went full RPG, I was done. I was like, okay, I'm not even going to check this out, because the other games, like, I would buy them but then quickly bounce off them the way Jermaine bounced off of God of War. I would buy them because they were still Assassin's Creed. But as soon as Origins, I think Origins was the first one. As soon as that was announced, and then I saw that, that's the target, and you cannot assassinate him. You have to battle him. I was like, okay, so they took the assassin out of Assassin's Creed. No, thank you. I'm out. You know?
Exactly. That is exactly how I feel, man. I turn that game on and I'm like, this is fun. The story's good. And then you go and jump on somebody's back and stab them. Like stick a knife
right through the spinal cord,
throat, and he rolls and gets up and one taps you. And it's like, what the fuck just happened right here? like to me, it just
no,
it just isn't right. It just doesn't. No. It doesn't feel right. So like,
they should have called it something else.
So like, they're like, don't attack the person right here that's right next to you that you could just kill and get this dude done with. No. Go 30 miles to the east and continue your story mission to get to the point to come all the way back over here to kill this dude, which is probably going to be off in some other mountain by then.
Pretty much. It was just the transition was just, it was crazy for me. I wish these new Assassin's Creed games were called something else, and then we kept Assassin's Creed as Assassin's Creed. Let's go to the chat for a bit. Oshter says, not a fan of OG AC games. I prefer the Ancient World trilogy because they are more RPG-like. Dude, there's so many RPGs. Can you let us have an assassin game? One. We don't even need 1,000. Just one. Go and play all the other RPG games. Come on. Oshus also says, too many Yakuza games, look. No, man. Dude, Yakuza games is about spamming the boss. That is fine because you go in knowing you're spamming the boss. Don't sell me a FIFA game. Don't put FIFA on the box, right? And then there's rugby inside. Don't do that. Don't make it an Assassin's Creed game and then it's not a freaking Assassin's Creed game. All right. Let's keep it moving. Oh, so sorry. Before we move on, so the follow-up question, Jermaine, was, are you going to pre-order it? But you've never had interest, so I guess the question has answered itself, correct?
Oh, if it's RPG like, maybe I will just
No,
pre-order
RPG.
it.
RPG are the previous games. Assassin's Creed
Okay.
Origins. What's the other one's called? Ham? It's
Origins, Odyssey. There's Valhalla.
Yeah, those are the three. Those are RPG. You can go and get those.
Okay. I don't need to pre-order
Yeah.
them either, so it's fine.
Yeah, they're probably on sale and stuff. The new one, the rumor is that it's going back to the roots of Assassin's Creed, where you get one-hit kills, but also you can get killed with like 2 or 3 and you're gone. It's not like you're not playing an RPG. Ham. So sorry, do you want to say something? Jermaine?
No.
Oh, okay. Ham, are you interested for Mirage or?
Yeah, I thought I already answered that. I said, yeah, I'm interested to see what it's all about. I just need to see more first. I need to see the game. I'm not going to get excited for a few words from a leak and then a little bit of confirmation behind it. I mean, that's not enough to get excited about. That's just enough to perk the ears up and be like, oh, I just heard that. Okay.
Yeah. But speaking of remasters, dude, for me, if they did a remake of Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and Revelations, which is the Ezio Auditore, the 3 games that he's the main character, bro. Like, people are judging all the people that are buying the Last of Us Part 1 remake and whatever. Dude, if they remade those 3 games, I'm getting them. I don't care. You can judge me, say what you want. I'm getting that shit. The same way if Konami fully remade all the previous Metal Gear Solid games with the same engine that they used for MGS5, I'm getting them. 70, fuck it, 100. I'm buying that shit. So, just being transparent. Lastly, we have Xbox Game Pass officially reveals friends and family plan. I don't imagine we're going to get much feedback from Jermaine on this one. Xbox is beginning the rollout of a new Game Pass subscription plan that allows friends and family to share access to the service. Currently, the Game Pass Friends Family plan is only available in Ireland and Colombia. Okay, Colombia. Xbox hasn't yet confirmed when the new subscription tier will roll out to other regions, but should the Friends and Family plan prove successful, it will likely only be a matter of time before it's released in other areas. The Friends and Family plan allows users to share their Game Pass subscription with up to 4 other players. In Ireland, the price of Game Pass Ultimate is €12.99 or $15, while the Friends and Family plan nearly doubles that cost to €21.99, equivalent to $25. First off, Jermaine, do you think it makes sense for Xbox to be rolling this out to Ireland? Sure. But Colombia? Does that make sense to you?
Well, there's probably the two most random places in the world to kind of roll out to, aren't they? Like,
bro,
they couldn't be any more different. It's kind of, for me, I don't know personally, and I know people will disagree, and it's the same with like the whole thing with Netflix and that. You pay for your own shit. If you want Xbox Live, if you want PlayStation Plus, or if you want Nintendo Online, buy your own. I get why they're doing it. They're trying to entice more people into Xbox and things like that. But no, I'm not really too fussed on it. I just think if you want to play it, you buy it and you subscribe to it. It's on you. So I know people want it, but.
So if this was a family plan for the PlayStation Plus Premium, you wouldn't care?
No.
You don't subscribe to PlayStation Plus Premium?
I have PlayStation Plus Premium, but I have it. It's mine. I'm paying for it, so like my kids can.
But a family plan doesn't matter to you.
No. It might. It's because I wouldn't get much out of it. Maybe some people get enough out of it to warrant it. I can see why they're doing it, but again, I'm just kind of, for me, they're trying to bring a perception of value, and I understand that. But I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's a big deal. But best of luck to them if they want to do it. It's not harming anyone, is it?
Sure. Hamothy, does it make sense that they're rolling this out in Ireland and Colombia?
Maybe they see something that they want from there. Maybe they want more traffic around there. I mean, there has to be other reasons other than
because these.
Well, maybe they want to hit. Maybe they want to test an area that's. I mean, I don't really know the reasons behind what they're doing it. There could be something very business-like that's like, oh, we need to use this area and this area. Maybe it's more cost effective or something for them to roll out and see, is it working between all these different people simultaneously? Because I think they said it was like 4 or 5 people at once can be on that subscription. What's that?
4.
It's 4?
4 people.
Okay, so yeah. I mean, I think
so you're proposing that they're like, if we can pull it off, they're like, if we can pull it off in Colombia and Ireland, then we can pull it off everywhere else.
Maybe. I don't know what their reasons are behind it, and I don't really care, I guess. I mean, that's just what I mean, this isn't the first time. This isn't the first time a random company or a random country has got something to test. Like, businesses do that all the time.
No, you know what? Xbox specifically does it. They're the only ones who do it. Nintendo, when they were trying out their cloud service and their shop on the Switch early on, went for the super advanced countries in terms of infrastructure. PlayStation, same thing. Microsoft are the only ones, and this happens consistently. I can't off the top of my head think of all of them, but almost every time Microsoft is debuting some new service or like ability that they give the player or whatever, they always go to these strange ass places. I remember it was Bolivia for some other service.
Have you ever thought maybe they're going to these random places that don't have the best service to test out the service to see how they would work within their internet provider on their grid or whatnot? Because they already because maybe they already have the idea, oh, this will work fine in the United States, we don't need to test that out, it's going to work there, it's going to work here in these areas in Europe, it's going to work in Japan, but is it going to work in some of these smaller places.
Mozambique,
Or, I mean, sure.
bro, they need to come here, okay? But
Maybe this is your way of
second part to that,
signaling.
Christ, as if Microsoft gives about Mozambique. Anyway, the point here, the second part of the question is, okay, if that's their strategy, how come Sony and Nintendo don't see this opportunity or this strategy?
I
don't
just
know.
see it as. Yeah. I think it's more of a marketing strategy, personally. If it's, what's everyone talking about in a minute? What's the big thing? Cost of living. I think, especially when you live in it. I mean, I'm sure in States it's the same over here. Everyone bleeding out every day. It's cost of living. The gas prices are going to go up. So they probably see this as in a way of saying, look, we're such a compassionate company. We're thinking about cost of living, and we're doing something that's going to save you and your family money, and we care about you as a consumer, and that's what it's more a publicity thing than anything to benefit them financially. Because obviously, it's not benefiting them financially because they're giving away more subscriptions. So for me, it's more that's kind of the narrative behind it, and the reason they've probably gone to these like countries like Ireland is Xbox probably not performing at the same level, so they want to see if that also brings up the kind of numbers. If they offer a family thing, will more people play Xbox or Game Pass, whatever it is? So it's kind of twofold like that. I just don't think Sony's interested in that kind of thing in a minute. If it does well, then Sony will just jump on the bandwagon and do the same thing as companies.
Well, I think Sony will. Sony will do the same thing. They're so far behind on a subscription service right now. They're just trickling stuff out in a comfortable rate. I mean, Sony will do some sort of family thing down the road. They will want to make it, in my opinion, I think they'll want to make it somewhat seemingly affordable. I mean, just like a year or two ago, there's plenty of people saying, they're not trying to compete with Game Pass at all. They don't need that to do these kind of services and stuff like that. Yeah.
Game Pass not sustainable. Remember, we had so many board members.
Day one games aren't cool, and then you see something like what was that game called? Destruction All Stars. No, Destruction All Stars. Come day one, and then and you're like, wait a second, this game was supposed to be $70, and then a year.
Well, it was $70,
right? But if you had a PlayStation Plus, you could just play it. It didn't matter. And then now Stray's coming out, and they're saying we're not doing first party day and date, but there might be other games that may be day and date to come out onto there. So it's like a little bit of resisting, but also knowing where people are going. And I don't think Sony's gonna sit back and be like, we are so stingy that we're just going to leave money on the table. Sony will never just leave money on the table. They're taking it if they can, and they'll figure out a way to do it. It's just, will you like the price?
I'm predicting the PlayStation 6 will launch at about $700. That'll be the price. Okay, so Oshus in the chat says subscription services are the future, too much value. Matt Likes Game says it's 5. I thought you plus 4 others. Correct. You're right. It is. If you count yourself, it is 5. But the structure is you pay the 25, and then 4 other people can share the service with you. Stankmore says, I can tell you straight up because I've been in these meetings. These business conversations typically involve people who don't understand the average consumer. With how big Africa is, huge potential. Dude, I wrote an article on that shit. I haven't seen anything from Xbox. Nothing. And it blew up. It even made it to the Washington Post, but nothing. All right. Matt Likes Game says Mozambique, Texas, implying that I'm in Texas. Bro, I swear, one of these days, I will share my Mozambican ID. One of these days. Until then, Just take my word for it. All right, I'm in Mozambique. Matlax Game says that they're not doing it in Ireland and Colombia because Sony and Nintendo lack vision. Hot take. Like, boiling hot take. Dude,
That's funny.
I'm screenshotting the hell out of this. Sony, I can even let that slide. Nintendo, the guys that own the the console gaming industry. These guys have no vision. Okay. Mr. Inferno Game says because Microsoft is the one using value as a marketing tool. Yes, that is true. They're the ones using value as a marketing tool because they're not the market leader. As soon as that happens, then we'll see who Microsoft really are. Okay, that is it for the news. We will not have quiz time because we don't have enough people on today. But we're going to go to game predictions. So first off, game results. Last week, we didn't do the game results because Gamescom just devoured the show last week. There was just no time at all. So Destroy All Humans got a 72 on Metacritic. Immortality, super trendy, got a 94. Ham, did you play Immortality? Oh, sorry, Jermaine, have you played Immortality?
No.
But you've heard about it trending, right?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, it's all over social. Ham, did you play or download Immortality?
No, but I'm gonna give it a go here
Jeez,
this
man.
coming week. It got
94.
a 94.
That's crazy.
Now I was looking into that game and it is weird. But I was looking more or less at the reviews for that game on Xbox, and man, they were lighting this game up.
Yeah, people are feeling it. The critics love it though.
There's even one person that said that they wish that Microsoft would take all that money and buy the exclusive rights to God of War and put that in the Game Pass. And I was like, what is this person talking about?
That's never happened. Microsoft would have to buy Sony to get God of War on Game Pass. That's the only way it could happen. All right, let's do this week's game predictions. So, Jermaine.
Yep.
This section of the show is we name games, right? And then you have to give us the Metacritic score you predict it's going to get. Games that are coming out next week. All right.
Okay.
First, we have the next gen version of Biomutant releasing on the PS5 and Series X September 6th. Jermaine, what's the Metacritic? What's going to be the highest Metacritic score for this one?
Biomutant.
Yeah.
75.
This is the next gen upgrade. 75. You sure?
All right, 80. I don't know. I've not heard anyone like. I haven't heard anyone talk about Immortality. To be fair,
we'll lock in 75 then. Amity, Biomutant, next gen.
Yeah, Biomutant, I think it's going to get like an 83.
You played this game, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. I actually even did a review on this game, and it's on this channel. So,
yep.
So if you're wondering what that game looks like, go check out the review.
Like?
It's or plays like. I have a breakdown of it and what I think of it, and even gameplay in the review on this channel.
If I go back and check the review, can I come back and change the score if I need to?
No.
It's 75.
It's a live one. This one's a live one, bro. Okay, next we have Steel Rising coming out for the PS5, Series X, and PC. So next gen only. Jermaine, what is your Metacritic prediction for this one?
This game, sorry?
Steel Rising.
Rising. I don't even know what it's about. So 85.
All right. Hamothy,
Okay,
still
priceless.
rising.
I'm gonna say it again. 83.
Okay. Okay, so the next one, Jermaine, I'm sure you've heard of this one. NBA 2K22 launching on all platforms, including the Nintendo Switch. That is going to be a rough port, in my opinion. Jermaine, what's the Metacritic for this one?
87. Kind of where sports games kind of linger around 87, 90. I'm going to say 87. Unless there's anything like major gameplay wise. I don't play NBA games, but if I do it on the same principle as kind of football games, unless there's anything major, it's probably about 87, just average.
Okay. Hamothy?
Kind of with Jermaine on this one. I'm gonna go 86.
86. Okay.
And I'm actually buying it because Game Pass fucking got me. Game Pass got me. So I've been playing NBA 2K22 on Game Pass for the last several months. And yesterday, they removed it. And they only had it on Game Pass, I want to say, for like 4 or 5 months. Like, it wasn't on there very long, right? But it was just enough of a taste for me. Like I was playing with Matt Likes Games, Bill, and every night I was playing with those guys, especially Matt Likes Games, and then I ended up even playing with Dealer several different times. And
you're playing with a dealer?
Oh, you were playing with Dealer from RDX.
Oh, like Dealer. Okay. I thought you were talking about a dealer. Like, what was he selling?
No,
okay. All right.
No, but I even played a few games with him, and like all of them were like I was about to go get Madden 22 like on disc, but everyone's like, oh, I'm getting 23 next week, or I already have it pre-ordered, and I was just like, shit.
Yeah.
All right.
You're like, damn.
I'll get more use out of that $70 purchase than I will with Tiny Tina's, and I paid $100 for that game.
Also, anyone that pre-orders NBA 2K23 gets NBA League Pass.
Well, that's if you get the $160.
It's still okay. It's still worth it because if you actually do watch the NBA. And you know how much League Pass costs. If you put the two together, it's almost free. It's crazy. And it's the whole season, not just like the regular season. The regular season, playoffs, finals, everything. Just from getting NBA 2K23, the Michael Jordan edition. So, do it. All right. Last we have. I really want Cozy to give us this one because she's a big Nintendo person. Splatoon 3 coming out for the Nintendo Switch September 9th. Jermaine, what's your prediction for this one? This banger.
This banger. All right. So I'm going to say 91.
91.
Based on the fact that my kids absolutely love the game. So if it appeals to kids, it's usually going to get a high score if they kind of keep kind of same things that made the first and second one popular. I think 91. One of those.
Can I give you the rating?
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, you're saying. Go ahead.
I did 91. Yeah.
91. The rating for Splatoon 2. Do you want to hear it? 83. Yeah. So they're gonna have to make a big jump, man.
Yeah, but then Nintendo have a habit of not a constant enough habit, but they do have a habit of making good games, not so great sometimes with a sequel, and then learning from what went wrong and then going back to fundamentals. I think, if they do something like that, then they can bring the score back up again.
All right. Hamothy, Splatoon 3.
86.
86. I shouldn't have said what the previous score was. Damn it.
I was gonna say
Alright,
88. I was gonna say 88 until you said that, and so then I was
83.
so now I say
Okay.
86.
Now let's close the show off with some salt. Lots of salt. Notable tweets. This one is from Chris. Okay, so sorry, Jermaine. Basically, in the notable tweet section, I'll read you a tweet, and you tell me what your thoughts are on the tweet.
Okay.
At Crisp Shot said, "I do not like Tencent. Hopefully, Sony can invest more to become the biggest shareholder, or at least second biggest." This is referring to the FromSoftware thing. What are your thoughts on this tweet, Jermaine?
He doesn't like Tencent, so he wants Sony to have the whole 30% or the whole company.
The biggest shareholder, so the whole company, basically.
The biggest shareholder.
Yeah.
I don't get why people get upset or make big deals out of companies buying other companies and purchasing. I just think it has a detrimental effect on gaming sometimes, when all we're talking about is, we're not talking about games anymore, are we? We're talking about companies buying companies, or me going down to buy a sandwich from the shop. And
okay, so let me put it another way. Would you be excited for Elden Ring 2, but with The Last of Us Part 2 gameplay and story and graphics and all that other stuff?
No.
Tall grass, bow and arrow, cutscenes galore. No?
No.
Teen angst. Don't you like that? When you like JRPGs? No.
Oh, Team Angst. Oh, yeah. Sorry, you're talking about a company.
That's what does it for you.
It's still just not enough for me to. I take what comes my way, and I just think that when we start swallowing up developers and wanting people to buy out companies, we always get this idea that, oh, if we do that, then they're going to make massive games because now they've got Sony back in and money and things. And a lot of the time, they just take the best members of the development team and chuck them on other projects. Yeah. So no.
Yeah. All right, Hamothy. Is Crisp Shot correct in saying that Sony should own FromSoftware?
I mean, it makes sense, kinda, but no, I don't like that idea personally. After coming off of a game like Elden Ring, I mean, but I could see why somebody would say that. I mean, that's not the craziest thing I've ever heard.
All right, let's keep it moving. We have Joey Bats 35. If I'm not mistaken, you had Joey Bats on Behind Them Sticks a couple of weeks ago. No?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Joey Bats said, "Blocking everyone in the thread that says it's DLC, even my own mother if she opens her yapper." This is about God of War. We've pretty much hashed this one out, so let's just keep it moving. Okay, this one's gonna be fun. At Joe has a dad bod says people can hype up these pseudo games like Road 96, As Dusk Falls, and Immortality all they want, but some of us would really like it if Xbox would release some actual video games that aren't just FMV semi-interactive films. Wow. Jermaine.
Okay,
this was for you, bud.
Well, he's an Xbox fan, so clearly that just shows the direction that how he feels. He's an Xbox player. He feels that's obviously the way.
He's not an Xbox player. No. If you post that with zero irony, you are not an Xbox fan. This guy meant it.
So he's taking shots. Okay,
he's taking a piss. He's taking the piss. That's what he's doing.
I don't know. I don't think that's true, is it? I've never played Xbox, but I'm pretty sure they've got quality games on there that aren't just FMVs. They must have them. They must have some quality games. I mean, they're all the same games that are on PlayStation probably as well. But you know, I just think it's just taking a piss, like you say.
Yeah, come on. Anyone that play, I mean, anyone that actually plays Xbox would know. Like they've, come on, Ham, go ahead.
So I guess I'm missing what was actually said because I don't even know.
Oh, don't worry, I got it right here. He said, people can hype up these pseudo games like Road 96, As Dusk Falls, and Immortality all they want. But some of us would really like it if Xbox would release some actual video games that aren't just FMV semi-interactive films.
Wow, that's
Go ahead.
That's a dick thing to say. I mean, that's just. I mean, I think that's kind of that's just messy. I mean, I mean, if those are the games that are coming out, what is Xbox just supposed to not put them on their service or just not have them in their catalog or something like that? Like, if that's what they want to have be made, then let it be made. The other games are still being made as well. They're still in production. They're just not out yet. So this dude just sounds impatient and as you guys said, just taking a piss. Just taking a piss wherever he finds. Go ahead.
Also, I'm curious about what will happen if you go to his profile and search Detroit Become Human. I'm sure he was capping the shit out of that game when it came out. I'm sure it was amazing when it came out.
I don't know. I mean, I don't have that kind of time to care about that person like that. I mean, sure, I'll talk to him. Sure, why not? Right? But
have a chat with him.
But I will not go out of my way to like make them think or say the right things. You know, you want to make an ass out of yourself? Go on ahead.
Yeah. Shit take. Stankmore says Dusk Falls was heat. WTF. You know, I still haven't played it. I will.
Dusk Falls is fire.
I will look into it. Ham, would you be willing to play with me? Because apparently it's super awesome if you play with someone else.
It is. It is really fun when you play with other people, just because some of the decisions that you can just, or like somebody overriding your decisions is freaking hilarious. So
someone can override my decision.
Yeah. So like the more people that are playing, the more wild some of the decisions can get. So
okay. So we have to get like Matt Likes Games and K-Mega on. That would be a trip.
Something like that, or Too Big. It's like Too Big's really fun to play with.
Too Big would just sabotage the game. Too Big
exactly.
You just think, how can I mess this up forever?
You gotta have a wild card. You gotta have a wild card in there. Somebody that's willing to just hit the button, like everyone's like, don't turn off the light, and he's like, I'm turning it off.
That's exactly what I'm doing. Stankmore says he's down. Okay, Stankmore.
Stankmore's cool too.
Yeah, I'm 100% down for Death Stranding next week. I'm on PlayStation only. But the week after that, we're playing As Dusk Falls. I think maybe we'll do like a stream or something. I think that'll be cool.
Yeah.
All right. We have reached the end. 17 minutes past the time that we're supposed to end the show. That's what happens when you're having fun. Hamothy. That's my excuse for failing at timekeeping. Hamothy, before you take us out, Jermaine, would you tell the people watching where they can find you? And
yes.
Anything you'd like to shout out? Go ahead.
No, you can find me on Twitter at Jermaine's RPG. Also have a YouTube channel as well, Jermaine's Real Platinum Gaming. If you want to kind of jump on that one first. I just started off mainly gameplay, my Master System challenge. So big shout out, if I could, to 8-Bit Boy UK, who does the Master System challenges. So I highly recommend you check out his channel, especially if you're into retro gaming as well. And other than that, just appreciate you inviting me on today, and it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's been fun having you on. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do quiz time, which is when we do a quiz. So because Cozy wasn't here, it wasn't possible. So we're gonna have to try and fit you back in so you can.
That's
have
2 weeks in a row.
shot.
We haven't had quiz time. That's 2 weeks in a row.
That's two guests that are gonna have to come back.
I'm still, like cooking, cooking up K Mega after that last one. That last one was,
with your 7 wins. I was supposed to show up on K Mega's show. I was supposed to show up on K Mega's show today, but unfortunately, lots of stuff to do tomorrow, so I have to go to bed earlier. So Jermaine, we will be calling on you to show up again, so you can get your shot to see if you can get a dub on the quiz time sometime before December. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
All right. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with you on, even though you're a Liverpool fan. I forgive you, and I will not block you. Looking forward to the next time you're on the show. Ham, would you please take us out?
Yeah. Did you know Grid Legends dropped on Game Pass?
Christ, dude, I don't have the time to play all these games. I didn't know that Grid Legends. I bought Grid Legends when it launched, but I'm too focused on the whole Yakuza thing to tear myself. I have to finish all the Yakuza games this year. I don't care what happens. The only game I'm going to deviate from Yakuza from 4 is God of War. That's it. Every other game, just add it to the backlog. Or if I get like a review, I'm not saying I want a review copy, but if I get a review copy for any of these new games, I'll review those. But yeah, my focus is Yakuza and then God of War. So Grid is gonna have to wait till next year. Dude, I bought Cyberpunk on launch. Couldn't play it on the One X. Apparently, it's super great on the Series X and the PS, but I still haven't found time to play. The backlog is it's ridiculous. It's crazy.
Cyberpunk looks fantastic now. But anyways, Jermaine, thank you for coming out and strutting and I gotta say that because he's a PlayStation guy. He's strutting.
Oh yeah, feeling his own. I am PlayStation. I was like, damn,
that shit was
said
strong.
That with his chest.
He did though.
He said that with his chest.
Did, though. But no. But seriously, I appreciate you for coming through and and spitting your bars and whatnot. You're definitely welcome to come back. You definitely have to come back for a quiz time and whatnot. Oshus, I see you down there. You said count me in for As Dusk Falls. So definitely you're more than welcome to hop in the group with us to play. But thank you everybody in the chat that stuck around with us, and those of you that are going to be watching in the future, I thank you for checking us out. Make sure you hit that like button before you leave. That'd be super duper dope. Share this out if you got time to do so, and you'll see us back here on Friday next week, 3 p.m. Central. 4 p.m. Eastern time, and then what time over there, Loke? Was it like 9 o'clock?
The motherland. 2200 hours in the motherland, ladies and gentlemen, Central African time.
So 10 p.m. in the motherland. And
yes.
All right. And make sure you guys also check me out next week. I'm doing 2 episodes of Behind Them Sticks. The 2 people that I'm having on is Mag, middle-aged gamer guy. Yes, the guy that does all the crazy
videos,
all the crazy videos and whatnot. Yes. And then I also have Patrick Macca coming in from Macca 91 Productions. He does like all the walkthrough and guides for all different types of games and shows people how to 100% games and whatnot. So a couple of dope episodes coming up soon. So make sure you guys tune in if you got time. But thank you so much for coming through. Y'all have a wonderful rest of the day and have a good weekend. Be safe. And as I like to say,